Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Animalia survival video. Today we have something completely different. We have a special lion, just not any lion. This is Scar, a ruthless, cold-blooded lion who will oppose, defy, and even challenge who dares to cross his path. And this is the story. We began a little story 2 hours after, where we decided to migrate through the plains of the map. Now keep in mind, we are a solo lion, and this build that I did was not meant to chase, but to withstand and fight lions, crocodiles, prides, you name it. We were not a pursuit animal. We were a stand the ground and fight animal. We start to go to the northwest part of the map because, as you guys know, that's my favorite hunting ground. I came across what it looked like a solo hippo, and as you guys know, I do love a challenge, and a hippo to start our day off would be a pretty nice catch. But keep in mind, beating an adult hippo as an adult, it is no easy task. I tried my best to avoid detection, even maybe playing the fool card, but that hippo already knew of my presence before I even came close to him. As I glanced over this little hill, I saw that he was kinda laying down, and that's when I decided to strike. We had to play it smart because I didn't invest a lot of points in stamina, and hippos, when they hit pretty hard. I was trying my best to find a weakness, but in Animalia the hippos are pretty strong. They have a good damage, good armor, and they can do very quick turns, as you guys can tell. I had no other option besides letting the hippo bleed, but as you guys know, sooner or later the bleed will stop. I tried my very best to catch that hippo, but as soon as he went into the water, I thought this was the G and the battle was over. Little did I know, it was far from over. We both stood our ground, waiting for opportunity to see who was the first to make a move, but this hippo was taking his time, and he played his card pretty well. This was a long and very tedious battle, where one false move would cost my life or even the life of the hippo. I do have to say, he played his card very well, stood his ground, and gave me a good fight. But unfortunately, no matter what I've tried, baiting, running around, I couldn't find a gap in this hippo's defense. And sadly, I made a mistake. And a mistake cost me my life. With that, I decide to not be greedy and take my loss. But for this adult hippo, the battle was not over. Embarrassed and almost dead, I decided it was best for us to find a safe place to heal and maybe try another time. After healing everything up, I decided to take a little sip of this water, and this is when things start to take a rather annoying tone. That was a very courageous attempt from the Leo, but because I didn't really want to waste time fighting them, I decided to roam around because we need to find our next meal. And this is when I spotted a wildebeest in the distance. This was my lucky day, a wildebeest being attacked by 3 to 4 leopards, which I had the upper hand in either of the battle, but because we couldn't join, we had to wait and see who would come up on top, and then contest the food. Most of the leopards gave up on the hunt, so it was our time to finish what they started. But catching a wildebeest is not as easy as it looks, because at the end of the day, they are pretty fast. With almost an empty stomach, there was only one way for us to get food, and this was to contest and fight the leopards. And here is when things started to get a little bit bad. Yes, the leopard started to jump mid-combat. Now for those of you who don't understand why this is an issue, it's because this is a rule break. You are not allowed to jump mid-fight. A lot of players like to use this tactic to avoid getting hit and avoid getting caught. But because we're dealing with rule breaks, then I had no choice but to camp his tree and wait for him to come down. I waited, and waited, until finally he decided to jump down. But unfortunately, we were too slow to catch him. I was thinking about leaving, but when they started 3-calling, I decided it was time to stay and do the old siege tactic. I know, this was a pointless battle because I couldn't catch them and I couldn't hit them. But this goes to show that this is normally your typical life inside of a Animalia server. People who don't read the rules. After that, I decided it was just time to leave it be and try to get some food. And lo and behold, we hit the jackpot. A solo adult rhino, one of my favorite herbivores to fight versus as a lion. But I soon saw that he was not alone. A sub-adult emerges out of the blue, and that's when I decided to switch targets. An easy kill and a easy meal. And after a long battle, we finally had our prize. This sub-adult rhino was enough to feel maybe a full pride. But because we're just one lion, I decided to leave it be for the rest of the upcoming animals that would come across this place, and maybe give them a opportunity to scavenge and eat. The thing about fighting alone and fighting battles without healing plants is that your gameplay is slowed down by a lot. You have to be very careful on your approach, you have to be very careful on what you hunt, because it's either life or death. So in this particular case, we take our time to rest and fully regen our HP, and maybe by that time we can have our little crocodile as a snack. I didn't find the baby crocodile that I was looking for, but I found a lost, wandering baby leopard. And so his fate was in my hand, and because leopards and lions are natural enemies, I decided to hunt him down and kill him. But because we're a lion but not monsters, I decided to give him a fair head start. But sadly, he didn't make that far. This is what usually happens in real life. And because today Scar is not really a good lion, everything has to come into an end. I made sure to give him a painless and quick death. After a small snack and a long journey, it was time for me to find more challenge, and that's when I decided to venture myself into the most dangerous place, Oasis 2.0. Known for having a lot of prides, for a solo lion like me, it was a death trap. We have to keep an eye out for prides, and we have to keep an eye out for other creatures. I decide to take a look around and see who will be my next prey. Because, like I said, decision is key if you wanted to survive. A beautiful white and golden zebra. That was my next meal and prey. But this was no easy task because zebras can actually run and knock you out. So I had to pray that this zebra would stand her ground and fight me. The zebra will soon realize that her tactic of standing her ground was not working against the almighty build that I did. After a devastating hit, the zebra saw that she had no chance on defeating me, so I pursued as I could. And sadly for me, we don't have the stamina nor the speed, but we do have the skill on tracking down. But sadly our pursuit would come into a halt because of a devastating situation. After managing being unstuck, I decided to see if there was any debris left from that zebra because as you guys know, you can track people down by poop or by their own footprints. But I came across this lonesome lion and I do think you know what's about to happen. Rule number 2 of playing Animalia. Never stand AFK mid-game. But because I said earlier, we're lions, but we're not monsters, I gave him a chance to move and to retaliate. From the way that he died, I would assume that he was a sub-adult. But like always, sometimes you live, sometimes you die. I decided not to eat his body because I do think lions don't usually eat their own kind. So I just sat there for a little bit and decided to leave. As I was leaving, I heard a distress call from some leopards. I saw that they were a group of 3 and I could not miss this opportunity to set the perfect ambush. Usually when you see players doing these types of migration, they have to be low on stam, so this was the perfect opportunity to catch these leopards off guard. Sadly for this adult leopard, he was either typing in chat or he was out of stamina. Either way, the other ones got lucky and made out alive. With this, I decided to rest a little bit, take a look around the place, and rest beneath this beautiful tree while the sun is setting. Because tomorrow, we have a big day ahead of us. Everything was going perfectly. Stealing food from leopards, gaining their respect, until I came across of a group of lionesses with cubs. The females were not the problem. The problem were the babies, because as you know, they will grow up to be either adult lions, adult females, and one day or another, they will oppose to me. So it's time for me to do some population control. The less male lions available, the better for me. It's always an ongoing battle for survival. If I let them live, they would probably grow into adults, maybe in a future time face me and probably kill me, and maybe who knows, in the future I might die to a pride of lions. But until now, I need to do what's necessary to survive. In a blink of an eye, it was already daytime. I had to be very careful because I was exposed, alone, and in a very dangerous place. I decided it was time for me to return to my beloved tree, but as soon as I was trying to do that, my journey got interrupted by my fellow arch nemesis. It looked like the battle versus leopards and lion was never over, but I'm suspecting that this were probably the same leopards that we prepared our ambush. Little did they know that they were walking into a death trap. A little rookie mistake from the adult leopard sealed his fate. Don't ever try to lay down in the middle of a battle. After a victorious fight and only scratches as a punishment, I decided it was time for me to just go home and call it a day. To my surprise, I spotted a crocodile feasting near my home. Because I didn't eat earlier, I decided to contest the food and fight him. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, fighting a crocodile for me it's more deadly than fighting a hippo. One wrong move and they will grab you and drag into the water, and there's nothing that you can do. My objective, try to lure the crocodile away from the water and fight him on land, so that if things went well, we had a big opportunity. I tried to test the waters to see if the crocodile knew how to fight or not, because this would give me a huge advantage. He was in a perfect distance from the water. Now it's time to strike. We had him in the ropes, but now was a matter of time if we could catch it or not. Sadly, this battle did not end with the death of the crocodile, but I will assume that we came out victorious. Sadly enough, by the end of the fight, the carcass was already spoiling, so I grabbed one of the chunks and head to my special place. With this, ladies and gentlemen, was the story and the life of Scar. We will never know what awaits us in the future. Maybe we might die, maybe we might live. But until we find out, Scar will live on as one of the truly brilliant, evil lions alive. So make sure to hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are not yet subscribed. And I'll catch you guys in a future Animalia survival video. Gator here, take care, and happy holidays.